Yo, welcome to another episode of the Culturally Controversial Podcast, man. I'm your host, Simply Nicholas87, and my co-host, Ty H.
Good evening, good people. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. We got a special one tonight, man. Thank you to all the subscribers. We're at 313. Y'all keep hitting that subscribe button, man. We on the road to 500. We're trying to get there, and we can't do it without y'all, man. So y'all keep liking the content, sharing it, and participating. But tonight we got some special guests in the building. I ain't gonna say special because we got some special guests in the building. Um, as you see by the name of the title, we are here about the Anson Voters Initiative, and one of the leaders of it. We did a show with him last year, and also we're doing one tonight. Want to bring him up on stage right now, Mr. Sam Cole, and we got another special guest backstage too, Mr. McManus. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
What's good? What's good?
What's
What
up,
up,
man?
Sam? McManus, this former wide receiver, McManus?
The
Yeah,
one and
it
only.
is.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Hey, nothing much, man. Just happy to have you guys here.
Glad to be
I'm
on, man. Glad to be on.
I'm at work, but I'm on my break, so I got a little bit of time.
Oh
All
yeah,
right, we don't want to get you in trouble, man.
too, man.
Trust me, if you don't see me, you know I'm going off break.
I got you. Sam, appreciate you for coming up, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Oh yeah, man. Tell the people the mission statement for the Voters Initiative. What's the mission statement?
Right. So the Sandhills Voters Initiative is essentially I'm representing for Tion and Alan, who are, I don't know, they may hop on at some point, but essentially our mission is just to do, just provide events that people want, whether it be a basketball game or we kind of been exploring some other stuff, but just, to provide events for people to come out. But when people do come out, we want to provide, some sort of education piece. We just want people to be knowledgeable and to be aware of what's going on in the community. And so essentially this, an alumni game, any type of event that we do is a platform just to, let people know what's going on in the county so that, people can be informed.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I remember last year when we talked, you said that one of the missions of this initiative was to register people who were previously unregistered to vote. I remember you mentioned you have events where you would have people to pledge or register on site. I know you did a charity basketball game last year. How did were you satisfied with the results that you got with people that you either got to pledge or got to register to vote?
Yeah. And so, with us, we kind of have specialists to come in and they kind of handle different sections. And so, of course, we hosted the event and we worked with, the New Rural Project, who specializes in, voter education. We had somebody come down from Charlotte who helped to kind of, walk people through that. And we were satisfied. Like, Anson County has such a low turnout for, African Americans as far as voting. And so, I think we maybe had, 5 or maybe up to like 10 people to pledge. And then, we don't know if they exactly went out and voted or not, but that was a step. And we just wanted to start somewhere because there's, like I said, it's a lot of work that needs to be done as far as making sure that we actually get out to vote.
I agree wholeheartedly. And Nick, before you go on, one more thing I want to present to Sam. I remember I was watching MSNBC maybe a year or two ago when they actually came down to Waysboro and they were talking to people and asking them why they don't vote, and a lot of them felt like they felt like the quote unquote the system isn't fit for them, so it doesn't matter what they do. With your initiative, man, what's your messaging to get people out of that mindset?
Well, at the end of the day, who gets in office depends on, who we vote for. And so whether we, feel the system is rigged or not, that's a right that we have. And that's a right that people who preceded us have fought to get us that right. And so, default, you got to exercise your right, default. And, at the very minimum. And, and I understand that sentiment of feeling like, maybe you feel like that vote doesn't count. But, that should be a motivation to, spread the word and get people involved and talk and to, get to a point where, we can get people in office that we believe will reflect what we want and what we need in our community. So, yeah, that I saw that special. It was rough, man. It shined us kind of in a bad light, but again, I do understand that sentiment.
Hey, pennies make dollars, though. So I mean, that's kind of one way to look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask the voter range. Like, what is the target that you're trying to reach as far as the age of voters?
Well, with a tournament like this, of course, we're going to draw out a younger crowd. And so, people who are just graduating, of really everybody. Honestly, that, there was no set age group where people, nobody, they just didn't vote. And so that was all age ranges. But as far as like in a tournament and that type of demographic that we could reach, you're 18 to 40. I think that's a good solid range. And I think that was going to be the majority of the people who would come out to an alumni game anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah, Tyra.
You can kind of cut my guard. I thought you were gonna follow up with that.
but and I will say this. I was going to say this. Last year because voting in elections and stuff was coming up. That was a main highlight for last year. And this year that is still part of our focus. But part of the mission also is we really want to push to bring a rec center to Anson County. I think I may have kind of mentioned that to you all, but there's it'd be helpful to have some political backing, I guess you could say, but also just making people aware of what we're trying to do. And funding is always going to be a thing and that sort of thing. But I've actually connected with a guy, Jay Ayers. You may have seen him floating around Facebook. I think it's Millions for Mission.
Yeah, I've seen him at the commissioner's thing.
Right. So connected with him. He's put a lot of work into it, and he's gained some traction. At the end of the day, just a matter of getting the right people in place, and like I said, getting that funding taken care of. But a lot of stuff is in place, and I think it's a very doable thing to bring a rec center to Anson County.
Sustainable, I got you. And speaking of that, a lot of that is those are local initiatives you're talking about, and I think a lot of people don't have a realization that when especially with a small county population of somewhere 23,000, when you're dealing with local government, that a minimal amount of votes sometimes can sway the way things go, and your vote definitely has an impact on your local government as far as who you vote for, or for county commission, as far as who you vote for sheriff, as far as who do you vote for in your town council. Those things have direct impact on the things that impact you. Like, for example, if you look at Flint drinking dirty water, that's a matter of people who are in charge not doing what they're supposed to do that allow that to happen. Your local government has a direct impact on your life. So it's not like, I'm not saying voting for president and U.S. Senate stuff doesn't matter, but in a small area like that, your local government has a direct impact on your life. And I think a lot of people, when they see things, like when they see, for example, textile mills that left, when you see things like your Walmart that left, when you see some of the controversies you've read about in the newspaper when it comes to things that's been taking place at commission meetings and stuff like that, the voter has a direct impact on those things, because lots of times it's only hundreds of votes that's determining who the winners are. So at that point, the pennies are making the dollars. And if you can get an extra 10 people to come out per precinct, that could sway the difference in the pendulum of how an election turns out.
That's exactly right. Literally a handful of people can swing vote, make it, one way or the other. So yeah. And arguably, when I won't even say arguably, for a small county like Anson, like the local elections are really, really important.
Yeah.
Really important. So
I'm giving all the turmoil, and I'm not gonna get into all that, but that does make a difference when people make votes, because in the last couple of months, I'll say this personally it's been a lot of turmoil, because I watch a lot of it. So
yeah,
and I'm not gonna get into all that, but
yeah, I encourage everybody to go. You tune in to your commissioner meetings, your town council meetings. They're online now, so everybody can get to them and watch them. And I'll just say this, Anson County, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
If you watched it, we have a lot of work to do. And, just my opinion, nobody's hearing anybody. And so until we get to a point where people are like, can hear each other, like and communicate. You know, have open lines of communication. Because at the end of the day, we still got to work together at some point. And so,
and we have to put in people intelligent enough to listen. And by the way, Sam Cole, he's with a non-profit organization, so he's not endorsing or denouncing any candidate. This is Tyrell speaking. We need to put people who are intelligent enough to be heard. When you have people in a position that can determine what resources, what infrastructure a county gets, and they can't even tell you how much money is in the county bank account. That's whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. That's rooted in ignorance, and I don't mind saying it. And if people don't vote, those kind of people will still hold those positions, and you'll still have that level of ineptitude in your county commission. I said it, I meant it, and I'm unapologetic for it.
You said that. But, so tell us, for the people that don't know, how did this the voter initiative get started? Tell us the beginning.
Wait a minute, which voter? Talking about the most recent one from the commissioners meeting?
Well, no, I'm saying like your.
I'm sorry. Oh, so for our group. Yeah. I was about to say. So myself, Tion, and Alan. I don't even remember. I think we met at like the New World Project had a function, and we both were there. The barbershop conversations, maybe about 2 years ago, with Cynthia Wallace and the New World Project, and we ended up just connecting. And we just came together, decided we wanted to do something in Anson, and we just came together, talked through some stuff. We came up with the idea of the alumni tournament, and it ended up being a really good event. A lot of people came out, and like I said, we got to offer some education around voting. And like I said, we're all three of us are from Anson, and anybody, the older you get, the more you're like, man, that's where I'm from, and you want to actually give back and that sort of thing. And I think most people are like that. I think most people who leave Anson, if they were given the opportunity, they would help in some way if they could. And we just happen to be local. And so
we got another special guest backstage. What's going on, man?
How y'all doing?
All right.
One good. So this is Shaman. Yeah, so Shaman, one of the alumni game players.
Okay. What's going on, man?
How y'all doing?
All right. What class you representing?
2021.
2021. We got 2004 over there, man.
I mean, you gotta say that loud, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
We got one of the early 2000 class members. I put it that way.
I will say this. I will say this because I appreciate Shaman and Calvin hopping on, because the tournament was actually just a game this year. It's a little bit different. Last year we had more players to be involved, and so we ended up having 4 teams. But this year we just have 2, and there's actually going to be a combo team of I forget all the classes that are going to be, but it's going to be a combo team with some of the younger guys, older guys, and so it'll be an opportunity for like Shaman and Calvin, some of those younger and older guys to be able to team up and play together. So I'm really excited about seeing that work out, because we want the games to be competitive, and so a little bit of what you call, I guess, maturity and some youth playing together. I think it'll be interesting to see that matchup come Saturday.
Cool. Yeah, the young legs, along with the cerebral minds of the grizzled veterans.
Oh yeah, it'd be a good basketball game, man. I can't play basketball. I just shoot the ball. But I enjoy watching people that can play basketball play. I have to say that.
I mean, I can't play either, but I want to get out there.
I don't believe it.
Just because, because bring everybody together as a community. Let the young kids see that it's more than it's more stuff to do out here if we just come together as one. So I'm just excited to get out there and run around and have a little fun.
Oh yeah, don't sell yourself short. You're a good athlete, man.
They're trying to be
once upon a time, man. Once upon a time.
You played with Mark Martin and all them, right?
Say that again.
You played with like Mark Martin and some of them guys, right?
Yeah, I came out before them, but I played with them also.
Okay, yeah, you play with like Mario Thomas and Dante McNair and on some of them guys too.
Yeah, that was a year ahead of me, but I played with them.
My point is, I'm about to say, you played on some good basketball teams, man. And if you made that team, that means you were a decent athlete. So don't sell yourself short, brother.
I mean, I made them, so hey, I was an athlete. I was an athlete back then. Let me put it like that. But
See, I grew up watching you catch passes of Earl Rory. That's where I know you from.
Now that I can do. I can still do that.
Yeah, he can do that. He can do that great.
And Shimon, my man, what's your last name, brother? 'Cause I think I know you.
Shamon Ingram.
Yeah, you were running back. I know this about basketball. I'm trying to put up where I know him from. Running back at Anson. I know who you are now.
Yes, sir.
So Sam, with the teams, so we're just gonna divide it up like this class versus that class, or go do like a blue versus orange, or like what's the?
So we had, so I'll go ahead and say this. So the class of 2007 through 2012 was a full roster. So they're going to keep that team.
Okay.
So at 2007 through 2012, I think they have probably 12 man roster. And then we have class of 2000 through 2006, which was going to be represented by maybe 3 players, including Calvin. And then you'll have class of 2013 to 17. And then you'll have 18 to 23, which will include Shimon. And I think each class had roughly 3 or 4. And so they're just going to combine them.
Okay. And you told me the other day, and I don't know if you're ready to talk about this now, but there's some other wrinkles you said that is going to be a little different than from last year. That's something that's going to be a surprise, or that's something you can share?
I think, well, most of the players know. So we're adding a 3-point contest and a skill challenge. And so we'll see who can still shoot the 3 ball. We're going to see who can still handle the rock. So we got a few people who have signed up for the 3-point contest. So Shimon, Calvin, if y'all interested in being part of it, y'all let me know and we'll get y'all signed up. But yeah, so we'll have, each team can have 3 players. So it'll be 6 total. Like I said, we'll get to see who still got the Curry shot and who can still handle the rock. So yeah, that's actually how we're going to kick off. That'll be right before the alumni game. That'll be at 1 o'clock.
Okay. With this basketball, have you guys any other like alumni events that y'all are planning, like as far as like other sports, like baseball, softball, football?
Yeah, so we really like to get feedback from the players and people and see what they want. Like the tournament was a big hit last year, and so this year was a little different, but I mean we're always willing to pivot. We've been seeing the flag football stuff, so we didn't have started that discussion. Now that liability insurance might be something serious to have to see. But like we're always open to just giving people what they want, and if enough people want to play, that's something we will seriously consider. So like it just depends on what people want.
Is there?
I was saying he might get him to sign a waiver or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to sign a waiver because man, they definitely got to do that. But yeah, whatever, I've heard people talk about everything from wrestling to football to the softball, and it's just a matter of if we can get enough people behind it, then I mean we're all for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a good thing.
I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
No, you good. I'll just say I think it was a good thing.
Yeah, I want to ask McManus something because I think McManus is kind of from our era a little bit. So if I'm not mistaken, McManus, you've been around that scanner for a good little minute. So you've seen how things were when we were growing up, and seeing how things are now, and I'll leave it at that. And as a person who kind of grew up and have seen the steady decline economically of an area. How important is all this to you, man? As far as kind of rolling your sleeves up and actually helping do something about it, what you're doing right now?
It's very important. I say that just because I got a little cousin of mine. He plays at Anson now, and his friends they come up my house on every other weekend, and we go around Charlotte, have fun. I just show them what's going on around Charlotte, the positive, the bad about it. But I also mentor to them about the company you keep, and somebody's always watching.
Yeah.
But I also tell them the truth as far as everything that you decide to do is up to you. can't nobody make you do anything. We got to start taking accountability for our own ourselves.
Amen.
So I just try to and if I can reach out to any other more young, they more than welcome to, we can meet up, do some bowling, go to Top Golf or any other thing. I'm all for trying to reach out to the younger generation just to show them different things than other than what they see every day in our community.
All right, you're leading by example, man. I appreciate that. My man, Shaman, you're only about 21, 22 years old, right? You're very young, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're at that age range where a lot of our, when I say our, I'm talking African American young boys are kind of at high risk of being lost. But I remember when back when you played football, Lance, and I remember you being a leader and a guy that always had a positive attitude and the guy that
JB.
stayed away from the wrong crowd. What's kept you level headed, and what's your message to peers in your age range to stay level headed like you?
It's just like stuff I done been through, stuff I done witnessed and answer. It's just like I just want to always be better than the environment I've been in, the people I've been around, stuff like that.
Gotcha, man. So is that one of the reasons that you decided to join in and with this tournament because you felt like that was something important where you can help do something about it?
Oh yeah, yes sir, for sure.
Hey man, I appreciate you, man. We need more young men in your age range that's level-headed, take initiative, and be a leader to their peers. So I appreciate what you're doing, my friend.
Yes,
I,
sir.
I want to add that to that because Calvin mentioned mentoring the younger group. Shimon and them, they have really been through a lot. Just when I had a little free time, I used to go hoop with them sometime. But that group, the pandemic and all that stuff, man, just losing classmates and stuff, it's been rough for them. And like you mentioned, the climate and just, we went through a spell. We're just losing like young people and like over like senseless stuff. And so, we want to give, we want to give people stuff to do in the county other than, hurt each other. And
I think that's a good reason to have a rec center for the youth. That's a even better reason to do it.
I agree, Nick. And another thing, man, like I'm saying, you struck a chord when you said hurt each other. We got to push self-value. We got to understand our own value to realize that when you're destroying your own community, when you're hurting someone in your own community, that means that you're hurting everything that's associated with you. So it's like if you hurt your brother, you've damaged your whole community. And the only thing you're doing is devaluing your whole community and putting your community in a bigger rabbit hole. And I think that the whole self-worth, self-value thing is like we're each other's brothers and sisters, and there has to be a level of unity where we understand that we're more valuable to each other than we are without each other. And I think sometimes I don't know where the messaging get lost or if there are not enough people pushing that message. Because the thing is, if we continue to hurt each other, we can't expect someone else to come in and vouch for us or come rescue us. I commend my good friend Pastor Steve because I know he's trying hard and trying to unify the community, and he and people like Pastor Ellerby and other folks as well, and Pastor Michael McLeod and all those who are trying. We need to. It needs to happen from within the own community, because people who are not involved in the violence, people who are not in the heat of what's going on. Yeah, it's fine for them to come out, but no effective change is going to start until the people who are in the heat of it, and until there's something from within where someone look in the mirror and say, hey, I can no longer do this to my community. Somebody from the inside has to preach that, hey, we're worth more than this.
It's true. It's a self-image thing. People got to see themselves better. And I mean, we can help, a lot of it, like, a lot of it is self-accountability, but also you do want to help create that environment. And I think I got Anson County figured out a little bit. Like if you could, provide an opportunity for people to come out and have a good time, save fun, somewhere where they can take pictures and post on Facebook, that sort of thing. Like it doesn't take much to, create a good feeling. And in the midst of that, you just, our kind of, plan is just to give, people information, let them learn a little bit, have fun, have, like I said, have something to do other than, out hurting each other or something like that. But yeah, I got high hopes for Anson County. People like Calvin, people like Shimon, people like y'all, who would ever imagine like, 15 years ago that we'll be on a podcast talking about stuff like this. So
He's right. I didn't have this idea, man. It's I without Tyrell, I don't think I probably would have had this idea.
And
I brought it to him that day, and I was just like, man, I think I'm just gonna start a podcast.
And I can't take credit for what Nick has done. Nick orchestrated all of this. He had all this in mind, and he called me and asked me to join him. So the credit goes to Nick because he's the one that set all this up, and I want to make that clear.
Teamwork make the dream work. So
That's
y'all
it.
together make it happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we trying to do stuff, man. Like I said, from where we started, I mean, it was it was a few people watch, not everybody, but now we're starting to get people to actually watch and engage and come through, and
And no matter what your mission is, first of all, there has to be a message, and there has to be an increase in morale. The thing about it, when someone's morale is higher, you most of the time are going to get better results because you're going to put more time and effort in something that you feel good about. Well, that's why we have to be careful the messaging that we put out there, because if a negative message is out there, then more than likely you're going to have negative morale and going to have negative results. Whereas, and one thing I like about what you're doing, Sam, everything that you're doing is positive and upbeat and portraying the area for its positives more so than sending a negative message out there. So I think that that more people, and a couple of other people I want to give a shout out to, Gary Snuggs, who's doing a great job in the community, trying to enfranchise young African American males predominantly with his barber school. Shout out to Gary Snuggs. Shout out to Daryl Simon, who often partners with Gary to put positive messaging out. So I want to show those brothers love too, because there are some people out there who's trying to lift the morale, and people like you, Sam, who are not just sitting around talking about it, but actually rolling up their sleeves and doing something about it.
right.
Yeah. There are a lot of groups that are starting to pop up, and it's really encouraging to see people starting to come together, because you see so much bad stuff, and that ultimately does affect the image of how people see themselves. And so if we can, for every positive thing you see or every negative thing you see, you need about 5 positive things to kind of erase that memory, or
right.
that effect. And so I love to see it. Like I said, a lot of people are starting to do stuff in the community, starting to seeing little groups come up, and it's a good thing to see.
Yeah, and all of this is necessary to rebuild or build infrastructure, because the thing about it, in order to build infrastructure, you have to attract people, business, whatever, from the outside. And if there's a negative perception about your community, it's going to be hard to attract people to say, hey, I want to invest my business, I want to invest my company in this area. So I think a lot of people, the big problem that I have with, you have a lot of people that sit there and complain about everything that goes on there, but they present a problem, but they never come up with a solution. And when you do that, something that's being heard is a negative message, but not anything to fix it, and that puts you in a bigger rabbit hole, and that's where you're on, and that's how the decline continues. And in order to rebuild our infrastructure, we have to market ourselves like we're that shining city on the hill, and then roll up our sleeves to make what we market become a reality.
Yeah. Y'all heard it here first. Anson County is going to be a top 10 county. Waysboro will be a top 10 city to live in.
Hey,
we got the potential for it. So just a matter of making.
What I'll say, and I'm not knocking anything you're saying, because I'm with it. But I think if we're a good portion of our resources just to build a county up infrastructure-wise, Western Nancy County got to be where the focus is, because Western Nancy County is only about 30 miles from the 485 belt loop. So if you, because the thing about it, whatever comes to Western Nancy County, all of this county is going to benefit from the tax dollars of it. So and of course Waysboro is going to benefit from it as well. So even as Ralph Jackson even says a lot, just even as a county, we have a little too much division. It's like, at the end of the day, anything that negative happens in Waysboro is a negative image to Peachland. Anything that's a negative image in Morven is a negative image to Ansonville. And as small as this county is, we're better served operating as one instead of operating as divisive. You can't have that mentality like, oh, those are the Louisville people, or those are the Morven people, or those are the Burnsville people. At the end of the day, all of us going to take the negative impact if something happens in one of those areas, because most time with our perception, we're perceived as one group. So anything that happens in the county of Anson, the entire county and every community in Anson County is going to be labeled with the perception of whatever happens.
That's true. We one county, whether it's McFarland or Peach and Polton, we one county.
With that's heavily linked. We only have one high school and one middle school, so our communities are intertwined because we all went to school together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna figure it out though. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It starts at the ground level.
Man, I feel like the people in, I'm not just gonna say our age range, but even the younger people, if they can get out here and get some kind of like just start something, I think it could push a lot of stuff in the right direction. Like what you're doing.
Well, we got to set a template and a roadmap for them, because if you're just moving around in circles and moving around without any direction, then you gain no traction. So I agree with everything you said, but one thing about it, I think things like what we're talking about now, what Sam, what Shimon, what Calvin are participating in, those are things that give a roadmap and a template. Because when you're only 19 or 18 years old and you haven't had much guidance, you're not going to know even where the starting point is and where you're headed. That's why it's important for guys in our age range who lived a little bit to provide a roadmap, to provide a template. Just like what Calvin does with the young men that he brings up to his place, he's providing a template and a roadmap. What Sam is doing is providing a template and a roadmap. So we still, instead of, even though we're telling them, hey, we need them to do this, we also have to show them so they'll know where to start from.
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, right. And I will always, this is just my underlying message, is going to always be that we got to figure out a way to work together. Because you like you said, like we, different towns, municipalities, but we're still one county. And at some point we have to kind of drop, whatever, I don't even want to call them agendas. We just have to drop like our own, whether it's our own ego, our personal, whatever.
Most of it's tribalism, Sam. Let's call it what it is. It's tribalism, whether it's racial tribalism, whether it's political tribalism, whether it's social economic tribalism. It's a form of tribalism where here we are, that's them, and we got to look out for us. They're going to look out for them, and whether it's people who are affluent versus people who are struggling economically, whether it's even if it comes down to whether you're Methodist or Baptist or Holiness, at the end of the day, there's too much tribalism where people are more interested in standing for their subgroup instead of being one large united community.
I can agree with that.
Oh yeah. What's the question I was going to ask?
Get on tangents.
It's good. It's cool. I'm trying to remember my question. I can't remember. You go ahead with another question, Tyra. I forgot my question was.
That's a lot of kicks you got.
Hey, well, I want to talk more about the basketball side, lighten up a little bit. I know last year you did more of a trip down memory lane with nostalgia and all that, where you involved a lot of the prior coaches from the previous years. I know Coach Jordan, athletic director at Senior High School, was influential and kind of helping the engine keep running as well. Are you having that similar type pageantry where you're bringing in some of the old coaches or to be a part of some of this?
Well, of course, they're invited to anything that we have. We didn't really have as much media marketing layout as we did last. We're just busier this time of the year versus what we were last year. But yeah, we did some flashback Friday stuff on Facebook, but didn't really do many interviews. This was going to be like kind of our big one that we did. But man, it's work putting this stuff together. And but like I said, the guys come together, and the ones who really wanted to play, keeping them, like they're literally the ones that made this happen. We got to a point where I said, hey, who wants to play? And we had a few that said, hey, we just want to hoop. And so we said, all right, we'll make it happen. But yeah, if we are able to continue doing it, we try to do something different every year. We try to make it a little bit different from last year, because last year was like we really just kind of went all out, with the, like I said, the nostalgia and getting the coaches and stuff. So it was a little bit different this year. But again, we're just glad to have the ones who really want to play. We're glad that we're able to make it happen for them.
Yeah. I remember years ago when we were growing up, McManus, this is probably during some time you were playing. Back in the day, we used to have all the alums, not we, but there was a structure where you had all the alums play against personalities from Power 98, and they used to come down. Do you ever see a point in the future where maybe you can get a big sponsor like that, the co-sponsor, and help participate, even get more attention on it, not only just in Nance County, but to get the attention on it throughout the Charlotte region or throughout the 704 region?
We're open to it. We're open to it. Like I remember the Power 98 games.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
like
Anson alumni versus Forest Hill alumni, something like that, to add a little more buzz to it. Those are just things I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the
We
guys
talk about that.
They've talked about it. Union County's got a lot of schools though, so I mean,
Forest Hill is our longtime traditional rival, only 17 miles away, and Marshville is different from the rest of Union County. I don't mean any disrespect to that, but basically the way I look at it, you got Union County and then you got Marshville. Marshville is almost an extension of Anson County. It's just across that imaginary line. So I'm talking about culturally, socioeconomically. Marshville has a stronger relationship with Wadesboro, Polkton, and all that area than it does with Indian Trail and Weddington and all that, because it's more similar to us demographically, more similar to us socioeconomically. So, and there's always been a long-standing connection, for better or for worse, between Anson Senior High School and Forest Hill. So I always thought that it would be nice if somehow if some of the Forest Hill alum will be willing to play games against some of the alum. It would be, to me, that would add to the nostalgia effect of it.
Yeah. I could see a Anson versus Forest Hill, and a few of them showed up to the game last year, and they were kind of talking about it. I don't think it would be hard to put that together. It'd be just a matter of seeing. Well, that would shrink the amount of Anson County players. We have to get our top, 12 to 15. But I mean, I like that idea. I think once we wrap this up, we'll talk with some of the players and see if that's something they want to do. And like I said, if we get no support behind it, we'll start trying to see if we can make that happen. I think that will be a good matchup, though.
Right, because what you can do every other year, one year you can have it in Wadesboro, the next year you can have it in Marshville. Whole type. And then you have the joint connection. The Inquirer Journal has a bigger base, and then that way, even though you may it's addition by subtraction. You may be subtracting players, but the addition is coming in the exposure and the coverage. That way, now it's in the Inquirer Journal, and then later on, it could become like a tournament type thing where you could have Sun Valley alum, could have Monroe alum, could have Porter Ridge alum, and it could be like in a tournament setting, all under the auspices of this of encouraging and registering people to vote. And then that way, and by you being a Union County resident, if you don't mind me sharing that, even you have the resource and the connections, or at least someone who knows someone who knows someone in Union County who can get you in touch with the right people. And I know that we're in the infancy stages now, but like my mom always say, you don't stay drinking a bottle. You don't stay drinking milk. At some point, you take the solid food, then you begin to walk, and then you begin to eat steaks and all that stuff. So right now, we're drinking out the bottle, but in the future, that's an opportunity where we decide if we want to eat steak.
Yeah,
I like that.
I agree. Yeah, I'm up here when I go to Aquatic Center. I see a lot of Forest Hill guys. Some of them, that won them state championships. I think they'd be willing to strap up and play against. And the mutual connection is Matt Size. That's the thing. Matt Size, Coach Nance, and Andy, Coach Forest Hill. He could be the guy that does the ceremonial tip off and all that stuff. There's enough components to where you could draw interest. And the key, I think, your primary goal is to get your message out.
Yeah.
Say the more people they hear your message, the better results and the more results you'll get.
Man, we might have to put y'all on the board or something. Y'all come with these kind of ideas.
Hey, I love it.
It's like
yeah, we've always thought about in the back of our mind how to scale it and grow it, and we talked a little bit about versus Richmond versus Union County, but I do like the idea of maybe just one school, because Union County is big and they even got some people who have made it to the league, and to make it kind of fair. I think we could start with Forest Hill. I'll talk with Tion and Allen.
I say 5 is fair, but I hear you, bro.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's a good idea, man.
I wonder who Danny would play, because actually, to kind of go back, Anson County, a lot of our teachers are at Forest Hill.
Yep.
Danny coaches out there. Danny Bailey, he coaches. And he played in the tournament last year. He's playing this year too. But yeah, like you said, we were very intertwined with that area. So
yes, 17 miles away. So I mean, right around the corner.
I think it'd be a great idea to push it, whenever, after this one to discuss the logistics of it. I think it'd be a good thing, man. I see that really being something special.
Yeah. I feel like you can get that done, make that happen quick.
Yeah.
I really feel like that.
And I mean, and it's all brainstorming. Of course, I know the issue at hand is take care of the business that you have at hand today. But as you're taking care of the business, as you're thinking about the future, is never any harm to take on a challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to get comfortable.
I agree. We always got to do better than last year.
Like the old gospel song says every round goes what, Sam? Higher and higher.
Man, he didn't hit me with the. Yeah.
Sam, I will say this: if there's any way I can help, man, just let me know. I can try to make myself available.
I appreciate that. Like I said, y'all, the players, Shimon, and the other guys who gave input. When we kind of had to pivot, man, y'all, like I said, this is here because of y'all, and so we definitely will keep y'all in the loop and be reaching out and staying in contact with y'all, man. Y'all are exactly what we need to make improvement. Y'all have y'all's influence, and y'all are like I said, I grew up watching you play football. You were the same age as my sister, and so I was like, it was cool seeing y'all out there on the football field and hooping. And now, once you hit 25, we all the same, But but yeah, it's cool seeing you come back and participate in the tournament and do your thing, man.
Hey, I'm gonna try my best, man. Hopefully these legs will get me up and down that court a couple of times.
Well, you got Shimon and his crew going to help y'all out. So
and I'm gonna let them have it. I promise y'all.
Come on, Nate. You ain't out of it.
He gonna be a locker room leader. That's what he gonna do.
No, hey, listen, I'm gonna get out there and play. I'm gonna give them my all, but at the same time, getting out of that bed the next day ain't the same no more. So, I'm gonna let them young ladies go out there and have it.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I heard
that part. I feel every word of it.
But look, guys, I enjoyed it, man. I got to get back in here and do some work.
All right, boss.
And I'm Calvin McMahon is community ambassador. Salute.
Appreciate you.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. So I definitely see y'all Saturday.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right. So what's the location for the game this year? Is it the same location?
So we'll be at the high school this year. And I guess quick rundown. So we'll be at the high school. The doors will open at 12:30. We'll have the alumni, the skills challenge and the 3-point and the skills challenge at 1. Then we'll pick up with the alumni game at 2 p.m. Okay. And we'll go from there.
Tell people where they can get the tickets.
Tickets gonna be in person. Y'all have to come out there with your cash or but the school has been gracious, working with them to be able to get the location, but we don't have like a digital way to pay. I mean, we did Cash App last year, but bring your cash, and we probably will accept Cash App at the door also.
BYOC, bring your own cash.
Bring your own cash. Yep.
Hey, Sam, are there going to be vendors in there? Are there going to be an opportunity for vendors or anything like that? Just asking.
So we have one vendor, Sugar IQ, Shannon Simpson.
IQ.
Our former bandmate.
Yes, another Anson alumni. She is a business owner. Okay. Yeah, she's a business owner here in Anson County, and she'll have her crew out there, and then we'll have some concessions and things like that. So.
Cool. Hey man, this hit my heart. So I know you're a humble man, but plug your wife, man. I'm about to say as far as the t-shirts, man.
So she did. So my wife did this shirt, which I try to pull that out, and then she actually did some shirts for our volunteers, and she does like our collar SVI shirts. But the actual championship shirt we had. Shout out to Elohim Embroidery. They're another local t-shirt company. They can do like larger orders. But my wife, Shout out to Ashley. I forget the name of. I think it's Cole Designs, but she does like all my t-shirts and I'm sure she's done some for your mom.
She did a sweatshirt for me and a t-shirt for me. So
yeah,
and
I bought it.
My mom's professional organization, NAUW, National Association of University Women. I believe she did shirts for them as well. They were very satisfied. So full disclosure, everybody, Sam's wife is my cousin. So
Yep.
hey, there it is. So
Yep.
I'm always gonna support family. So.
Yep. She's I got her that cricket a few years ago, and she's gotten real good with it now. So she's been making. I always joke say she's gonna make $1 million off of t-shirts, but she crank them out though. And like I said, shout out to Elohim who did our championship shirts last year, and they did them for this year also.
Cool. Hey man.
And real quick shout out to our DJ Ryan, who is another alumni, Ryan Tillman. We'll have our MCN. We have Mimi Laos. I think we're gonna have Shanga and her group are gonna come out and do, her group, her cheerleading group that won the nationals.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out and do some cheers for us, and then also we have a handful of alumni cheerleaders who will be there to help us out. Now I don't know if they're gonna actually cheer. I don't think they're gonna cheer, but I think they'll be there to kind of support their different teams and stuff. But we had a few alumni cheerleaders. I think some of the older as far as 90, 97, 94, and then we have like 2022. So Shaman, maybe a few of your classmates will be out there, but we just want to be a big family reunion. A lot has been going on in Anderson County, so we want this to be like a light thing that people come out and enjoy and learn a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And Shaman, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Like I said, you're one of the young men who's in the age range of the young men that we're most concerned about, and the fact that to see that you have this concern about your community and that you're level-headed and you're participating, man, that's remarkable. So I want to salute you as well, young man.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't have started because now I'm thinking of other people I need to shout out. Harvest Ministries.
Hey, keep shout them out, man. Hey, this is shout out.
I hate that I start because I don't want to forget anybody, but
charge it to your head and not your heart, as the pastor said.
Charge it to my head. Alan and Tion for y'all being in being there in the corner with us and helping us and working together pull this thing off. So shout out to them, SVI.
No doubt, man.
Hey man, we appreciate you guys for coming on, and like I said, what's the official date for the tournament? This weekend?
Yep, September 30th. Oh, last shout out Lacey's for the trophies. That's it, y'all. I'm done. Lacey's. I'm trying to hit all my local people. Yeah, shout out to Lacey's for the trophies.
Hey, make a blanket statement, and anyone else who you may have forgotten who helped in any way.
Anyone else from the great.
To uncles, cousins, and nieces and nephews, and a host of other sponsors.
You're right, and anybody else from the great county of Anson, we appreciate y'all.
So September 30th, doors open at 12 p.m. Y'all pull up. Game starts at 2. So if you're around and you ain't doing nothing, Colorado don't play to I don't know whenever, but if y'all watching the game, y'all can watch on your phone. Come out there and support the alumni basketball game, doggone it. But yeah, but we're about to get up out of here. Shout out to Sam Cole and Shaman for coming through, Calvin as well. We appreciate what y'all doing for the community, because you ain't gonna find a lot of people trying to help us. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real honest, because ain't a lot of people out here trying to do stuff like this. So for you to consistently keep it going, I appreciate it. That's coming from me. So
we all in it together. We all in together.
Yeah. And anything you need from us, man, just holler at us. We here.
Y'all know I hit y'all line.
Hit us up, man.
That's Sam will call my phone in a heartbeat. I was like, hey, sometimes I get a little nervous when I see his number pop up. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah. You know I hit y'all. But yeah, I appreciate y'all and y'all's platform and everything y'all are doing to just to spread the word and to just to be a part of the good stuff that's going on in Anson County. So
appreciate you too, Sam. And yo, Nick, before you log out, man, I know you got some and in ensuing days we got some upcoming shows with some more content, man. So make sure you let the people look out for the next couple shows.
Definitely got some more content coming. We'll be live tomorrow, 8:00. Bearcat preview recap. Getting ready for this week against Parkwood. We're gonna go back recap a couple games. I've been kind of busy, but I know a lot of y'all been asking and been getting a lot of messages. When y'all coming back on? We'll be on tomorrow 8.
Yep. And
For the people that don't know. And Friday, the first round of the sneaker tournament begins. We got round 1. We got number 3 seed Sean Mebane going against Sean Wheeler. And we got the main event, number 4 seed Coffee with the Foe versus Wilt Jr. This will be the first round of the sneaker tournament. So don't miss out on that. That will start at 8 o'clock Friday. Tune in, share it. It's already up in the if you subscribe to the channel, it should be up in the live feed for upcoming. So hit the notification bell to all so you know when we start. But pretty much that's it for the week. We start this with episode 1. And this is the best one to do. So I appreciate you for coming on. I always love supporting the hometown because hey, that's who I want to give the shine to.
Right. Hometown. Man, so we have to give them the content. So and Sam is giving us probably the most important content that we've had of the year to give. So I'm more than happy to be a part of this, even in the minimal capacity that it may be.
Right.
Every bit counts, fellas. We appreciate y'all.
Hey, appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Hey, y'all hit that like button. We're about to get up out of here, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So tap in. Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Take care.
Oh, yeah.